Hello, folks. Welcome back to T2SM Tutor. How are you all? Hope everyone is good. If you can hear me, please let me know that. And yeah, don't forget to push the like button. Okay. Let me see first who is here. I was thinking about a buy here. Previous the market open. Just want to take the buy from there. Target is this relatively equal highs. I- let- is there anyone by the way? Okay. 11 people are watching. Who is here? Please let me know that. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Yeah, you should hear me. Okay. Yusuf, you're here. I'm here, but listening while working. Okay, Daniel, at least you guys can hear me, okay? Walaikum salam, Yusuf. Thank you, brother. I hope you guys can hear me. I mean, sometimes there is some technical problem and you guys can't hear me. I start to talk and then there is no sound. So that's why I start with asking, can you hear me? That is the first question. But thank you for being over here and I hope you guys can hear me. Hey, Neptune. Hello, brother. Suman. Suman. Hello, brother. I hope you guys can hear me. However, I took a trade here actually. I wanted to take the sell. I was watching the market from 1 a.m. New York local time. I was not sleeping today. So I was watching this market. That whole fall, I miss it because market didn't come to this last fair value gap. So it actually came here and then suddenly started to fall. I was so upset because this fall I was expecting to from this gap, from that specific gap. As it didn't happen from here, when the market next come here, I took the sell here, but unfortunately it just took me. You can see here, like it just took me by tick around that area. So that was my stop loss. Entry was there. Here was the entry. Stop loss. Later I moved to the break even and it just took me. Then it started to fall. Immediately I entered with the order block. So entered with the consecutive order block and then hold the trade. Took some partial below this low here, some partial below that low, and simply close one micro contract here and finally close the trade just below this low. That fall was really also awesome. I was not intended to hold the trade for so long. That's why I closed it early and it was like $250, something like that. Just a second. I think 250 or something. Okay. Yeah, that was $250, something like that. And then I simply closed it. It was more than enough because I'm eligible to get a payout. Payout eligibility calculated end of the day. So end of the day, I'll be able to request a payout. However, yesterday I bought another Eval Lucid Pro 50K account. Actually, I bought it for the giveaway, but I don't have any other account, so I just kept it for me. I think next week I'll buy another and I'll try to make some giveaway next week. So in that account, just trade yesterday and made like $1,300, something like that. Not a bad day yesterday, but the problem was around the morning session, it was disaster. So in that account, I really don't want to trade anything else. So I'm gonna trade the new account. However, I would love to talk about yesterday's price action at the beginning. If you guys remember, we had this buy side liquidity around that area. That was the buy side liquidity. and this was the new week opening gap. So this candle close, this candle open. The new week opening gap is this two line. So I'm gonna make it much more bolder. Okay, here. So this is the new week opening gap. Market came here, built the strongest liquidity. So after the stream, I mean, I don't know what happened, but now these days around the morning session, it's really so difficult for me to keep trading. And if you guys remember, I just got some losing trade over here, but watch it from this low, which is the low here, which is the Dillington's low, and that was the high of the Dillingtons. That was the 50% area. Had this fair value gap around this 50% area. That was the fair value gap. I was waiting for this market to come to this fair value gap. When it come to this fair value gap, this two consecutive candle was the order block to me. I took another buy from this area, which is actually the 50% of this Dillingtons, and hold it until this. I wanted to hold it until here, actually, to this last gap, but by trailing stop loss, I got stopped out here. That was more than enough for me to be profitable. I think 100 plus handle and end up with $670 profit by mitigating all of my losses around the morning session. At 500 loss, if you guys remember, around the morning session. So I didn't do anything. I took a sell here. It didn't work. I took another sell here, but the stop loss stopped me out here. Like just by tick, got stopped out around that area. Then the fall appeared, and then I tried. I don't remember. I think I was trying to take a buy here because that was the buy side liquidity. The other account where I have built like $1,300, I actually took this trade from that leg. But unfortunately, before taking that buy, I got stopped out one time from this candle, from that order block. So when this tapped to this gap over here around this area, this specific gap, it came here and then closed so beautifully above this word block. I took the buy here, it didn't work, so got stopped out. And then I wanted to take rebuy. I unfortunately I was not able to take the entry here because I was so afraid that it's going to fall one more time. It's gonna come over here, so I didn't take the buy or anything over here. But when this candle appeared on the chart, like it has closed above this candle. I mean, not exactly closed above the candle, but just above the opening. I immediately enter with the micro contract, like three micro contract, added five more over here, hold it until this buy side liquidity. And that has built like nearly uh like 70 handles, something like that, and like $1,300 profit over there. So that was the trade from yesterday, but around the morning session, I really wanted to see this market to fall a bit, but it didn't fall. Instead of that, worked with this order block, which ICT also explained in his last video, where this candle he has explained as a beautiful order block and the mean threshold of this order block. So beautifully it has worked and sent the market higher. The good thing is when I'm profitable and when I'm the loser, if I have the buy side liquidity, which is very clean, like if you watch here, this swing high and that swing high is a very nice, beautiful buy side liquidity, right? And after building the buy side liquidity, I got the retracement. That is the retracement. I need that retracement until the 50% of the delinquents here to here. That is the delinquents 50%. So you see this area after that area. Yeah, maybe I'll get stopped out here one time or two time. I don't care, but eventually it will go higher and to go for this buy side liquidity. I'm so much confident about that. Yesterday market didn't touch the new week opening gap low. Instead of that, closed here and then market open. The first job it came here inside this new week opening gap. After that, this market simply keep trading, keep trading. I don't know what happened over here because I was not over there. Then I came back around 1 a.m. I think here somewhere I came and I was waiting for this market to come to this last fair value gap to take the sell from the 15-minute chart. If I come to this 15-minute chart, this is the gap you are watching right now. Above this gap, I have this beautiful buy side liquidity. This high, that high, relatively equal highs. It's a beautiful buy side liquidity, and I have this gap. So I was really wanted to see this market to fall until this gap, to reach until this gap, then take the sell. Around 2 a.m., as you can see here, market didn't tap to this gap. Instead of that, fall from there. So I missed this fall, and I was just so frustrated. Was not interested to take the buy. And yeah, there was a buying opportunity, but I really didn't want to take the buy because I was afraid that maybe it will tap to this gap here and then it will fall again for this relatively equal low. So I didn't take any sort of buy here, let the market go. And when it come to this last gap, I immediately take the sell from that area. And I just closed it over there because just $250 more than enough. By the way, that was the buy. I was watching the market here and I was really intent to take the buy here. But I was already profitable, so I didn't take the buy. So until this buy side liquidity, that was really awesome buy over here. Now let's see what is happening from my higher time frame. So from the weekly chart, I'm just going to remove every single thing from the market around there. Okay. So this is the weekly chart. Only thing I didn't like is market didn't touch the 50% of the weekly dealing range. So this is the high of the dealing range. This is the low of the dealing range. That was the 50%. This is the only thing I didn't like. This market could simply tap to this 50% zone, maybe a bit below of this 50% zone to this specific gap, and then started to go higher. I could start to think about the all-time high again. But as it didn't do that, it actually doesn't need to do that, but it is like it's still 50-50 to me. Does it really would love to go higher and go for the all-time high? Or does it want to follow one more time because the 50% dealing range is still not been traded? Okay, so this is still some confusion left the market. Market left some confusion over here, unfortunately. Good thing is it has traded this bullish fair value gap from the weekly chart around here. So let me mark it and change the color to green, make it a bit bolder. So that is that weekly gap that has been traded. Still, this market didn't touch the 50% of this gap. That is also suspicious because long term reversal actually happens from the 50% of the zone. I mean 50% of the PDRA, not like to the top. It will tap to the top and then start to go higher. I don't like this shit. To be honest, I really don't like it. But so far it is holding the market and sending it higher. Still a lot of confusion is market left over there. It didn't trade the 50%. It didn't trade the fair value gap 50%, as well as this gap doesn't have any value to me. Like actually, this is the gap from here to here. Okay. So this is the volume imbalance. If you add this volume imbalance, this is the real gap around that area. This candle close, this candle open, there is a small volume imbalance. So this is the gap. So I really didn't like the top rejection. If I see the top rejection, there is a probability market will fall again, at least until the 50%. In other word, this gap, which is really so obvious to me, like entry gap from the weekly chart, last fair value gap from the weekly chart, even if it failed to come to the last gap, the entry gap is more obvious for me to trade before even going higher. So still now, this is not an high probable opportunity for me to think about the buy again. I think it will fall one more time. I still don't know what is going to happen. So today is the last day of the weekly candle. So for this week is a disaster. It fall until here and it come here. Now it is an indecisive candle. How today's market is going to close. Today is Friday, mental capital preservation day. Be very careful about today before trading. From the daily chart, really doesn't have anything around that area. Simply nothing I have around that area. Nothing at all. So this is something like a random level to me. I really don't like to think about reversal from this type of random level. Instead of that, if it could come here to this gap, or maybe there is a very small gap which is aligned with the weekly bullish fair value gap, entry fair value gap. If you guys remember the weekly bullish fair value gap, this is aligned with them. So if it could come here, that would be awesome to think about a new buying opportunity. As this market is reversing from here and look at this candle doesn't have any wick. Okay, so this market open started to go higher. It actually happens when I'm bullish, I'm expecting the bullish market, and market leave this type of thing. Like if you watch here, there are some like this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle. Like it doesn't have the time to build the wick. So in this type of time when I'm expecting the market bullish and this type of candle appeared, I'm very happy to think about all-time high as my target or new high to be created as my target. But when I'm not expecting the bullish run and this type of candle appeared on the chart where there is no wick, it is also suspicious because this market has a probability to fall one more time to build a wick for that specific candle. So we'll see that eventually. I mean, today I'm not bearish, that's for sure, but I'm not long term bullish as well. Over here, I have this daily bearish gap. So I'll keep watching this daily bearish gap. Can it hold the market and send it lower? That is my understanding. I mean, that is my expectation from this gap. So can it trade this gap and then start to fall again? Or does it want to go through this gap and then keep going for the buy side liquidity? We'll see that. But until this daily bearish gap, I'll keep watching for looking for the buy. More importantly, here is the new week opening gap. See this candle close, this candle open. This is the new week opening gap. I'm gonna mark this new week opening gap and gonna change the color. So like this way. So it will be here from the weekly chart. This is the new week opening gap, and we'll see if it really has the power to work as a support and send the market higher, or after trading this gap it will start to close inside this new week opening gap. What is going to happen, we'll see that later. I want to come for the hourly chart, and if I come to this hourly chart, you see this high here and that high over there. They're relatively equal highs. In my opinion, they're really so beautiful buy side liquidity. This is the buy side liquidity. Today's market is high probable market for me. Why? Because I have the buy side liquidity. Now, if you watch here, I don't have any sell side liquidity. Simply no sell side liquidity I have. So I'm more interested to see, can it go toward that buy side liquidity? More importantly, remember this daily gap. I'll watch this daily gap. Can it hold the market and send it lower again? For no wick candle, as well as to trade the 50% of the dealing range and the 50% of the weekly bullish gap. If it can come here to the 50 minute, I mean, sorry, to the bullish gap from the weekly chart and the daily chart, that is also good. But I'm not overall bullish yet. Like all of this buy side liquidity here, then this buy side liquidity around that area. So this high, and that high. And finally, this buy side liquidity, extreme buy side liquidity. Like they're so clean. I'm still not thinking about them. I'll think about them if this gap is broken from the daily chart. As long as this gap is not broken, I'll keep looking for the buy until this gap, more importantly for this buy side liquidity. And from there, I'll start to look for sell again. From the new week opening gap, that is the new week opening gap. Okay, so this candle, let me actually mark it in a very nice way. This candle close around that area. This candle open around that area. This new week opening gap from the hourly chart has been broken already over here. So weekly gap, you will look for the hourly chart for the confirmation. New day opening gap, you will look for the 15-minute chart for the confirmation. So as you can see here, this market has closed above the new week opening gap around that area and then working as a support. The 50%, the top, they're working as a support. What else do you can do over here? You can mark the quadrant level of this week around here to here, and just mark the quadrant level, and you will expect some reaction from those quadrant level over here. So finally this market closed above this new week opening gap, fall, trade the 50% of this new week opening gap, went higher, come back again to the upper quadrant, went higher, come back again to the upper quadrant, took this low, and now it is, I think so, it is reaching for this buy side liquidity. That is my expectation. Okay, this buy side liquidity, this relatively equal highs, that's my target. More importantly, the 50% of the daily bearish gap. Another thing I want to show you, if you guys remember, in that specific day, market tapped to the low of this bearish PDRA. Now again, what did I say over here? I don't like the top rejection. So if it really would love to keep going higher, it should trade at least the 50%. Same here. It should not simply trade the low and then reverse for a long period of time. It should not do that. If you see this type of 50 low rejection, always expect the 50% of that gap to be the next target, the 50% of this gap. This is something you should always keep that in your mind, and it will help you a lot to understand this market, in my opinion. Okay, I still can be wrong. Maybe this market will never fall again. It will keep going higher for the buy side liquidity, but we'll know that after this gap is broken from the daily chart. As long as it's not broken, I can simply start to look for the 50% as my target. Then I will be indecisive. I'll keep looking for the selling opportunity. If it is extremely bullish, maybe I'll take some losses. And when the daily candle will close out this gap, I'll start to look for buy after the retracement from the daily chart. Right now, I'm not expecting any sort of retracement. I want to see the momentum on this market, and I want to see this market simply keep going higher to take this buy side liquidity. Would love to come for this 15-minute chart, and from the 15-minute chart, same thing over here. This low and that low, they're the relatively equal lows. Market is going to leave this sell side liquidity over here. First, I want to see this market to go higher, take this buy side liquidity, then this sell side liquidity over here is going to be my target. Except that sell side liquidity, I have no other sell side liquidity in this market from the 15-minute chart. Okay, so this look can make some sell side liquidity, I really don't know, but at least from the 15-minute chart, this is the only sell side liquidity which I will target later after the market trade the 50% of this daily gap. As I have this buy side liquidity, I'm so much confident about trading today. Like yesterday, the day before yesterday, the day before yesterday is yesterday, like on Monday, I was so much like confusing. I was so confusion. I was in confusion. What is going to happen? Because I didn't have the buy side, I didn't have the sell side. So I had no bias. I had like something, I would wait for something. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, I don't know what to do. But when I have this buy side liquidity, which is so clean, I really don't care about anything else. I'm not interested to look for any sort of retracement. I'm just going to target this buy side liquidity. However, I'd love to go to the regular trading hour opening gap. And if you come to this regular trading hour opening gap, you see this gap area, that is specific area which is aligned with the 50%. So after the 50% of this daily gap, there is a huge opening gap. This opening gap is kind of like, look at this whole price action, right? This small price action and this whole price action is below this small price action. So there is a liquidity void, as well as I have this liquidity void over here. So there is a liquidity void here that's going to be target next after trading the 50%, or maybe after trading the 50% of this uh, opening gap, regular trading or opening gap overlapped area. So after trading this area, this liquidity void is going to be the target. That's my expectation so far. So I highly appreciate if the market can go for this buy side liquidity and then target the at least the 50%. More importantly, until the new, I mean, this regular trading or opening gap, 50% lower quadrant, upper quadrant, anything, or maybe it will simply close the whole regular trading or opening gap. I don't know what is going to happen over there, but I just need to see this small portion which is still not been traded. So this candle high, this candle low, that specific area, I need to see them to be traded. Some portion of this gap need to be traded. Okay. Not looking for the closing, not looking for the opening. I'm watching the exact area where there is no buy or no sell. There is no wick. There is nothing. The real liquidity void, the real volume imbalance, according to ICT himself, by the way. So can it reach to this area? Because here, small portion, if you watch this area, this low and this candle high, that is also some kind of portion where that is overlapped, right? This gap and this gap is overlapped. So this is really a liquidity void. While the market went higher, there was no buyers. While the market fall, there was no sellers. So this area is a void. So I should actually give you the example of the painting. So when you paint on your wall, you just go up. There is some portion that is like absolutely empty. So what you do, you just make it down one more time so that that can overlap. So this is the something area where you started to paint higher. There was a small gap. The brush didn't cover this area. And when you paint down, still that gap is like, still there is a gap. So it is something like market will always target. This is my expectation, however. So I'll watch them. Can it go and target over there or not? Okay. So that buy side has been cleared. I was really interested to take the buy from there, but like I was already in profits in that funded account, so I was not in rush to take any sort of buy or sell before the market opens. So I'll see if it can really target this buy side liquidity here. That is my target. I want to see this market to go for this buy side liquidity. I can be wrong. It can start to fall. I really don't want to see any sort of fall. I highly appreciate if the market can keep going higher. Again, like last few days, I'm really struggling to trade on the AM session. Almost every single day AM session is a losing day for me, almost every day. But the lunch hour PM session is so beautiful. And as you can see, like this profit I have made from the PM session, and this profit I have made like from the, yeah, lunch hour, around the lunch hour, I think yesterday lunch hour, I guess. So this profit also has been mm, built like outside of the session, morning session. So something like that. I don't know how this is going to happen today, but I think today is gonna be a good day because I have the buy side liquidity, which is going to be my target, and I'll look for that buy side liquidity if it can go over here. Okay. 1 minute to go before the market open. Please, guys, make sure you have pushed the like button, subscribe to our channel if any of you are new around here. After the market open, the first job you are going to do, mark the regular trading or opening gap. This is the first job you will do. Mark the regular trading or opening gap. Yesterday 414 close, today 930 open. So that is the closing, that is the opening, that is the gap you are going to mark at the beginning. and you will expect some kind of fall to happen, maybe until the upper quadrant 50%, and then the market will start to go higher. Like yesterday, remember, market open and started to go higher. I'm not allowed to take those type of entry, even though I'm expecting this buy side liquidity, but I'm not able to enter over here. If I wanted to enter, I should enter around that area at the beginning of the run. I always love to enter at the beginning of the run. If I fail to take the entry at the beginning of the run, most of the time I decide not to go for any kind of trade. So this is the last fair value gap from the 15-minute chart to that specific leg. And at the beginning of the run, I took the sell around there. Okay. So yeah, that's all. Okay. We'll see if it can fall a bit, then go higher for this buy side leg. Otherwise, I can't chase the market. That is really so difficult for me to chase the market. I know that I should target this buy side liquidity, but I can't enter over here. You can do, brother, whatever you want to do, but I just can't take any kind of buy because I'm expecting this market will go higher and take this buy side liquidity without some sort of fall to the regular trading or opening gap. Hello, Eagle Sniper. Tamimi, good morning, brother. Grand Rising. Marquis. Rida, good morning, brother. Suman, do you consider Asia Open to be a possible draw for sell side since we did not have any manipulation? Price just ran up since open. Uh, if you like ask about the Asia session, I'm not good at Asia session. Okay, I really don't trade the Asia session. So what should I reply? I really don't know. But Asia session is something like a bit complicated. But if you wait until 8 p.m., I hope you'll get some target. Okay. If you have some target, and after, if you wait until 8 p.m., you will get some beautiful trade. For example, if I talk about here around 8 p.m. Okay. So this is the 8 p.m. So if you have some buy side liquidity there and you had that target, you could target that buy side liquidity. Maybe, I don't know there was any buy side or not. Maybe there was any, I don't know. But however, Asia session, the secret ingredient is you have to wait until 8 p.m. So after 8 p.m., the setup or the run, most importantly, you are going to get that in between 8 to 10 most of the time. But you have to have some target. So market open, started to go higher, trade taking this buy side liquidity, and watch, I'm missing the trade. What I was saying, what was my expectation? Everything is working out, everything is panning out, but I'm just like paralyzed. I can't enter over here. Even though I was expecting this buy side will be taken, market will trade the 50%, and more importantly, if it go for the like the regular trading hour unfinished business, if it really would love to go over there or not. But I'm paralyzed. I can't take any kind of trade over here because market just opened, started to go higher. For example, market open came at least to this upper quadrant or maybe to the 50%. I'm interested to take the buy right now. Open, started to go higher. What I'm going to do? Simply watching the market and feeling like, oh man, what can I do in this type of market? So this is really difficult for me to take a trade while I know what the market will go for, but I'm not getting the opportunity to take the entry. What can I do, man? So I'll let this go. I'll sacrifice the trade. If I don't force the market, I don't need to worry about anything else. All I have to do, I have to wait for this market to take this buy side liquidity, trade this line, and then I'll start to think about some sort of sell. Why? I'll expect some kind of retracement. After the retracement, maybe market will go for this area, around that area. In other words, if this market come very near to this gap, which is the buy side liquidity, not the gap, buy side liquidity, and then gave me a selling opportunity. I have already explained you yesterday about the first presented fair value, not first presented fair value gap, how first fair value gap. I'll call it like that way. I call it first fair value gap. You can use that logic, but it is only applicable if the market is very near to the extreme high and all other highs are taken. For example, these all of these highs has to be taken, and market will fail to take this high. If and only if it happens, then you are allowed to go for those type of entries. They're highly strong entry model. Okay, if you study them, look, I have nothing to do. I'm watching the market like I'm paralyzed. Did I explain what the market is going for, why it is going for, what is the explanation? Everything was good, but I'm paralyzed. I'm not able to enter into this market. market open, and from here to here, it's nearly 200 handle. I'm going to miss all of this 200 handle without taking any trade. Even though I knew where the market will go, I still don't have the opportunity. I could only trade if I wanted to enter. That was the only area for me to enter. I was watching this market, and I have already told you at the beginning that this is the portion area where I'm expecting this buy side liquidity. And after that, market will open. Like if I let one runner to go, of course, it is going to hit that buy side liquidity. I'll get that profit. But as market open 9:30, after 9:30 market is bullish. I'm not going to touch it. I need the retracement before taking the buy. So if the market failed to take this buy side liquidity, and without taking this buy side liquidity, market gave me a retracement. Okay, so what is the dealing range low? This is the dealing range low. This is the high, and this is the 50% 6 on 8 level. So something like that. If it come here anywhere and then give me a buying opportunity, I'm gonna take that buy. Why? Because now the market has the high opportunity to take this buy side liquidity. Anytime I'll enter over here. For example, I entered here, okay, and market is really interested to do the retracement. I'll get that unnecessary loss. So I don't want to chase the market. Instead of that, I'm gonna let the market to fall, then go for the buy. In other words, I can start to think about a small scalping, which is highly risky, and I don't recommend any of you to do that. So some sort of selling opportunity, maybe market will trade something here and then look for that some sort of selling opportunity until the 50% or 6 and 8 level, and then start to look for buy. I want to see the 4-hour bullish fair value gap traded. I just meant the market open at 6 p.m. EST. Yeah, the market open around 6 p.m. What was your question? Do you consider AGA open to be a possible draw for sell side, since we no, I don't think so, brother. Like AGA open, there is no interest for the daily target to be met. So if, for example, why AGA open is important. So I have this sell side liquidity, okay? So this line is the sell side liquidity. I know it's bit difficult to see them, but this is the line which is the sell side liquidity. So what happened to the whole day? Market actually do this type of things. Let me show you this. Market has cleared this buy side liquidity, okay? Trade here anywhere, I don't know, and then finally market came here and then closed here somewhere, very near to this sell side liquidity. Market closed there, didn't clear that sell side liquidity. If it happens, then AGA open is important. And I believe by the first or second candle, market is going to take that sell side liquidity just by the AGA open. It is only applicable if all the liquidity is taken and market was ready to target the next liquidity level and it failed to take that liquidity just by a bit. Okay, someone has donated, I guess. Thank you so much. Who is that? Dora. Thank you so much, sister, for donating for the solar system. Yeah, I'm really struggling with the electricity problem. Thank you so much, sister. If you are here, take my appreciation. Love you, sister. Thank you so much, sister. So I have already $277. I need a lot of money, by the way. Thank you so much, sister. Came to the 50%. Now I'm interested to see if it can provide me any sort of buying opportunity from there. I'm only interested to take the buy right now. Maybe the market will keep falling. I don't care. I'll let all the fall go and take the sell side liquid. Then I'll start to look for buy again. But any sort of buy right now from any of this level, I'm gonna take that buy because this is the 50% of the dealing range low, high, 50%, 6 on 8 level. Any of this level will give me the buy. I'm gonna take the buy. It will keep falling. I'll let him fall. Anytime it will give me the buy, I'll take that buy. From 15-minute chart, this is that last gap from the 15-minute chart. In other word, if I come here, this is the real last gap, which is below the buy side liquidity. So this is the buy side liquidity. Below this buy side liquidity, the gap is the most strongest gap ever in your life you have seen. Okay. If I mark this gap instead of that gap, you will get the more confident. Here, this is called the extremely strong last fair value gap. because above this is the gap. If it is broken, this sell side buy side liquidity is obvious. This is the last gap to that specific leg. So I can remove this gap right now. I can kept this gap, last gap, because market came to this last gap, and I'm gonna watch this parallel gap to see if it can provide any sort of buying opportunity from this gap. Okay, from the 15-minute chart, any kind of buy from here is a valid buy to me, except the order block. Only the order block is not valid. Highest up close body close candle, order block, trade the last fair value gap, tap to this area, small scalping until the 50%. I just can't take any sort of order block entry over here, except order block, any kind of buy is valid to me right now. I don't care if it fall and take this sell side liquidity or not. I don't care about anything else. Any kind of buying opportunity from here is now a high probable buy to me. And please don't get confused because of all of this line. I'm just going to remove the quadrant level of this new week opening gap, and also going to, did I remove the regular trading or opening gap? So this is not going to be removed. That is going to be removed. Yeah. So the regular trading or opening gap is still open. Let's see if it can tap to the, at least to the upper quadrant. It has touched over there. I'm also going to remove the 50% and the 6 on 8 level of the dealing range. You have seen, right? Low of the dealing range. Why this low? Because this is the last time market has cleared some swing low. This is the last time. After that, market never cleared any sort of swing low. So this is the dealing range low. This is the dealing range high. This is the 50%, 6 on 8 level. I'm going to remove them, and I'm going to watch if the market can provide me any sort of buying opportunity. Except order block, any kind of buy is valid. Marquise, Dura is making so much money. I'm sure she can buy the solar system, brother. Inshallah, one day you all will start to make the money, man. It's all about the patience. Okay, now this time the market is difficult to trade. For example, this buy, you're not allowed to take any entry over here. This sell, yeah, you can take the sell from this order block, but I highly appreciate not to do that, even though it is falling so beautifully. But still, I don't appreciate to take any sort of sell from this order block. However, that fall, that run, just look how it is working, like one boom, one boom. From 15-minute chart, you will just see this candle come until the last gap and it is going to fall. Maybe it is going to take this low, something like that. Like this type of market should not touch. This time, the market is very strong and very difficult to trade, as the last gap is going to be broken, because if this low is taken, this last gap is broken. I will move this last gap from my chart, which is a bullish PDRA. So market didn't respect the 50%, 6 on 8 level, didn't give me any sort of buy. Instead of that, trade the 50% of the regular trading or opening gap. We'll see if it can take this low, because that is really a beautiful sell side liquidity. I'll wait for the liquidity to be taken. And from the 50% of the new week opening gap, I'll start to look for buy again from the 50% of the new week opening gap. Okay. I'm going to remove this one for now. I can't take the buy right now, even though I'm expecting this buy side liquidity to be taken, because market is leaving this sell side liquidity. Yeah, there is also no SMT or something like that. So I need to see this market to fall and take the sell side liquidity at first, then go higher. But I want the 4-hour fair value gap. Please, bullish. So you want to see this market to come until here. If it come here, I'm not able to take the buy. The reason is I'm not interested to go against the new week opening gap. So if it come here, I'm not interested to take the buy. When the market is against, I'm going to take the buy against the new week opening gap. So I highly appreciate to come here and then go higher. So it has taken the sell side already. If it can touch the 50%, that is the high probable area to think about a buy. The sell side has been cleared. Okay. Any sort of buy right now is an high probable buy to me. Target is this buy side liquidity. This is called the last fair value gap reaction. Send the market lower to clear the sell side. Now only buy is valid to me. Any sort of buy is valid to me. I can use the order block as well, but the volatility is not going to allow that. So you can see it's 90 handle, order block, consecutive order block. I'm not allowed to take the buy from the order block because the volatility is too much. So I'll prefer some sort of bullish market structure shift, something like that, to take the buy. It will keep falling, not going to touch it. Please mark it. I think the fair value gap is below this new week opening gap. So right now I'm not going to mark it. But if it really come over there, then started to go higher, I will wait for this 50% to be broken. Then I'll start to look for a buy after the market is above the 50% of the new week opening gap. Good morning, Sinobi. Guys, please don't forget to push the like button. Subscribe to our channel if any of you are new around here. Okay. So I have some sell side liquidity here as well, which is an obvious liquidity that is also been taken. So kind of almost every single swing low, I mean sell side has been cleared. Market has came to the lower quadrant of regular trading or opening gap as well as the 50% of the new week opening gap. Can it go higher? If it can go higher, I'm gonna take the buy. If it doesn't go higher, I'm not going to take the sell. No sell is valid. If you are interested to take the sell, that is the only area where you could take the sell. As you missed the sell from there, from the order block, you're not allowed to take the sell. For example, I'm waiting for a sell. What I will wait for? This market to reverse again the 50% 618 level, then we'll take the sell, which I'm not going to do that because I'm extremely bullish. 50% area, the candle is also valid as an order block. The 50% of the new week opening gap, it is also only valid for new week opening gap, new to opening gap, 50% area. But I think I should wait for a 22 model. I think that's much more better, or at least some bullish fair value gap, some bullishness. Okay. But the 50% candle is also valid as an order block. However, guys, that was the 4 p.m. candle yesterday. Yesterday, 4 p.m. candle was here. Okay. If I mark the candle size, it was 150 handle candle exactly at 4 p.m. Disgusting. Why is 6 p.m.? Okay, that is the 6 p.m. There is a small new week opening gap. I mean, this candle closed, this candle open. A small new week opening gap, which is aligned with this low of the regular trading or opening gap. So we'll see if it really would love to fully close the regular trading or opening gap, go a bit lower, and then started to go higher. Any kind of buy below the new week opening gap CE is not valid. Also, let me see how much is the volatility. It's huge volatile market. Like 64 handle 1 minute is very highly volatile market. So be very careful. Close the regular trading or opening gap 100%. Doesn't want to see this market to move after closing the 100% of this regular trading or opening gap. So if I come to this regular trading or opening gap, that was the gap. Okay, so market has fully closed this gap. I really don't want to see this market to reverse after just closing the regular trading or opening gap. A bit more fall below this low, and then maybe it is also aligned with the 4 hour gap, if I'm not mistaken. The 4 hour gap is over there. So I think it would be awesome if it could do that. However, not going to chase the sell, not going to chase the buy. Weird market, stay away. Good market, enter into the trade. I'm only thinking about a buy for this buy side liquidity. This is my target for today. I need to see this market to come for this buy side liquidity today. So market fall at the beginning. Ah, good. it means that I'm not going to miss the opportunity. But if it could simply take this buy side liquidity, I would not be able to take any short of buy anymore. But now I'm allowed to take any short of buy from here. Trade the new day opening gap from today. The new day opening gap has been traded. The regular trading or opening gap has been closed 100%. See, just remember no buy is valid as long as this market is below the 50% of the new week opening gap. No buy is valid over here. I will resend it. Thanks. Love you, sister. Do you check SMT? Of course, we do that if we have some. Took a short from 28.65 exit at new week opening gap high. Damn. I took this sell today's London session. Okay. I took this sell here and I closed it here. Just, I think I closed it. Just let me remind where did I close it. Yeah. So here I took the sell here from this candle and I closed it below this low. Just here to here. That was the trade. And look where the market came. Like here, it came here. But I closed it just there. Don't be regret. As long as you are following the rules, don't regret. Came to this 50% working as it as a resistance. That's why I'm saying that no buy is valid while the market is below the 50% of that new week opening gap. It is always best to avoid trading while the market is inside the new week opening gap. It is always best to avoid trading. So from the 15-minute chart, I have a gap here. And I have a lot of gap over there. I'm not worrying about them right now. Just this gap and this gap is all I'm watching for. In my opinion, this is the beautiful gap for the reversal. But we'll see. I think another great example of the top rejection. So from this gap, market rejected from the top. Now it is coming for the 50% of this gap. I think it came also the 4-hour gap. I don't look for the 4-hour chart, by the way. So it also came to the 4-hour gap. This high, this candle low, this is the 4-hour bullish gap. So it came to the 4-hour gap as well. However, guys, if any of you interested to go for the trade right now, you can go for it. I'm not allowed to take any short of buy from here as long as this market is below the CE of the new week opening gap. I will not look for any short of buy over here. If it was not inside the new week opening gap, this is already my order block. So if the candle close above this candle, I'm interested to take the buy from that candle. Like here, highest up close body close candle is my order block. Lowest down close body close candle is going to be my order block. But I'm not allowed to take the buy while the market is below the new week opening gap CE. It is always better let the run go while it is inside the new week opening gap. Maybe I'll miss the trade. I don't care. You can target like here, for example, just for the sake of this conversation. This is one of the best order block. I'm just not going to take it because market is just below the CE of the new week opening gap. Uh, okay, it actually didn't take. There is another way to take entry if you have two fair value gap, two bullish gaps. So for example, here is one bullish gap already market has created. Maybe there is gonna be another bullish gap market is going to create. So this is called two gap. I will try to take a buy because this is a swing high, not a beautiful swing high, but it's a swing high that's gonna be shifted. So it's gonna be a 22 buy model. So I have the 22 buy buy model, but the problem is the same. Like market is below the C, and how long this C is going to be respected, I have no idea. A lot of things over here. First of all, this beautiful order block. Secondly, two bullish fair value gap. One, two bullish gap. Third of all, I have the 22 buy model. So everything is good over here. I'm just curious to know what should I do. See, this 50% of the new week opening gap is holding the market. So I'm bullish. That should be the entry already. Okay, I'll go with two micro contract only. And where is going to be my stop loss? If I take the entry over here, I'll just cover the word block open. Just the word block open I'm going to cover. Have everything over here. I have 22 buy model. I have two bullish fair value gap. I have order block. I have everything. The only problem is market is respecting this 50%. That is the only problem. But that's why I just tried with two micro contract, putting my stop loss just below the order block open. If it works good, if it doesn't work, I'll just get a stop out over here. But if it works and it started to go higher, I'll add more. For example, if I see the body has closed above this line, I'm gonna add more from this order block by trailing my stop loss. Not going to add more actually. Still, the market is below the CE, so not interested to add more here. Yeah, not interested to add more. I'll just let two micro contract to go. Instead of that, I will try. Maybe I'll try to move my stop loss. I guess. What did it came to this order block? See this order block. More importantly, to this breakaway gap, it has a probability to keep going higher right now. If it doesn't and stop me out, I'm gonna get stopped out. The only problem is I don't know how long this dot line over here, this dotted line is going to hold the market. How long it is going to hold the market? I have no idea. Okay. Took me. Still watching this gap over here, this water block mean threshold. Can it hold it and send it higher? So that, like, again, it's highly risky to take entry over here. First of all, stop loss is gonna be too big, which I'm not able to put like below this low. And secondly, the 50% is holding. I still believe it will go higher from here, but I'm just very afraid to take entry around that area, even with the one or two micro contract, because the minimum stop loss is going to be like 30-40 handle. So even if I go with the two micro contract, the stop loss is gonna be $160 or maybe 100, $200, something like that. Okay, took that low one more time, 1001 candle. Still that is valid. If the body close below this line, below this low, then and only then I'm not allowed to take re-entry from here. If I say another candle just came here and then go back again, closed above this order block, I'll take re-entry from this order block. And maybe I'll target the 50%, maybe. And it will keep falling, nothing to do. We'll let it fall, let it fall. We'll wait for the buy again. Yeah, this order block is not valid anymore. It has built a new order block. This 22 IT model is also invalid. There you go. Below this gap, I have another gap, which is the last line for the fall. So I'll keep that gap as well on my chart from the 15-minute chart, because if this gap is broken, I will have no other opportunity to take the buy. But if it reverses from this gap, that is the best case of scenario. I really want to see this gap to hold the market, send it higher. I will not take any sort of sell. No sell is valid to me except buy. So market came to the discounted area. I'm only interested to look for the buy. If it doesn't provide me the buy, not going to take the buy, but no sell is valid. If I see it's an high probability, of course will go 3-4 micro contract. If it is not high probability, I'll try one or two, maximum two micro contract. So that even if I take a loss, it's gonna be very small. Just not going to do the gamble like yesterday. And that's the low of the old swing low. This is that old swing low. As the market came here, I don't need that gap anymore. I don't need this order block. I'm gonna hold it. 50% is here of this whole dealing range. Mhm. Below the new week opening gap. Okay, that is falling so beautifully. I don't think so I'll be able to take any sort of buy anymore as long as it's not coming over here, because that is the last period from 50-minute chart. If this gap is broken, I will have no other choice to take the buy as long as it's not coming to this 50% area, which is aligned with this gap. It's really so bad over here. So I think hourly chart is much more beautiful. Yeah. As long as this market is not coming to this hourly gap, I don't think so I'll be able to take any sort of buy. So I have to let all the full go until here to think about a buy. I still don't believe that it's going to go for this low without clearing this buy side liquidity around that area. I still don't think so it's going to happen, even though this last gap from 50-minute chart is holding the market. So far it seems like a reversal, but I think it's a retracement of the dealing range low to high 50%, 618 with this hourly gap. The 50-minute chart is a bit messy over here. So I think that's the line. Here market will come and then start to go higher, I guess so. If it doesn't, I will have no other opportunity. But anything is going to happen here except except the buy. I'm not going to do anything over here. Like no sell, nothing. You believe it or not, it's difficult to trade. Like sometimes the market build the setup. There is a setup. I can use the setup to take the buy. But the way it is falling, for example, I was looking for a sell. I'm also not allowed to take any sort of sell because there is no setup. This market is simply just falling. I can't even take a sell. I'm not looking for a sell, but I'm just for the sake of this conversation, I'm saying that even if I was selling or looking for a sell, I was not able to take the sell because the way it is falling, there was no setup for me. So I have to let that fall go. I think this is also going to be broken. I'm going to remove that on. There is another gap from 15-minute chart. Every single time it will tap into a bullish pit area, I'll keep looking for a buying opportunity. Yeah, all the lows are taken. Good. Who is in this dramatic sell? Who is in this dramatic sell? Take it, brother. Do it. I have feeling it going to sweep the low one more time at 10 a.m. Are you going for yesterday's low? I don't know, brother. It should not go over there. by the way. I think it's going for the 50% of the dealing range, which is aligned with this hourly gap. So maybe it will come here and then it's go higher. I hope so. But if it really go for the previous day low, like if it really fall for the previous day low, mm, just no word to say. Maximum, I think it can fall here to this area, 50%, 618 level, and the hourly bullish gap. I think so. But anytime it will provide me the buying opportunity, I'm gonna take that buy. For example, if it close above this candle, I'm gonna take the buy from this candle. I just don't know how much is the volatility. Every single PDRA will give me the bullish opportunity. Oh man, it's 76 handle only. Mm, if I try to take the buy from there and put my stop loss here, it's 43. So here, 31. I can take this risk for this high. From there, no, it's not possible to take the entry from there. So I can make it there. There is a possibility I'll miss it, but yeah, it's okay. If it close above this line, then come back here, then I'll take the entry because I'm not able to take the entry from here. Every single bullish PDRA will provide me the buying opportunity. I'm gonna take that buy. I'll just see if it can close above this line, then come here so that I can enter. It has to close above that line first, then it has to come back. Otherwise, this is not a valid trade. Falling, I'll let the fall go because I know that eventually it will reverse from here. So falling is not a bad thing for me. I'll just let this go because there was no opportunity. Here I got an opportunity which was highly risky because below the CE, I should not go for a trade while the market was below the C. But there was three setup altogether. Market structure 22 YT model, two fair value gap, and finally the water block. Like three setup was all together. That's why I took the buy here. This is the next period where the market was approaching to give me the setup. It didn't give me that. I'm not taking that. I will let the fall go and it will come here. Then I will start to look for buy again from that area. In the meantime, I'll just keep watching the market to fall. Like every day, it is like this. Okay. So something like this. Look at this candle. Market open. Like look at the candles. And like market open here around that area. Market open. Look at the candles. Today's market open. Look at the candles. How can someone trade this type of market? Like why is like open falling? Almost every day it seems like the same type of situation. Disgusting. Gonna let the fall go. Okay, we'll see if it can really reverse from here. Maybe I'll find some buying opportunity from there. If this high is shifted with a fair value cap, I'm gonna take the buy from there. Anytime it will give me the buying opportunity from any kind of bullish period, like here. See this gap from the 15-minute chart. This was the gap. Market has closed inside this gap. It didn't close outside of this gap. So still this gap is holding the markets. For example, it gave me a buying opportunity from here. I'm gonna take that buy from there. It doesn't give me that buy from here. Come here, then give me a buy. I'm gonna take the buy over here. It gave me the buy here. It didn't work. Fall again. I'm gonna take that loss. We'll wait for the buy from there again. So like you can say, brother, you should wait for this market to come here, then go for the trade. You can say whatever you wanna say, but this is something high probable, low probable. If it come here and then give me the setup, I'm going with the like maximum leverage, like 3 to 4 micro contract because it is highly volatile. If it doesn't do that from here and give me a setup over there, it is not going to give me that. But if it would give me that, I'd go with the lowest leverage. Then later I would start to pyramid the trade. Before taking this one, I got stopped out here with 2 micro contract. Absolutely cool for 50K account. If you ever think that you are going to get everyday winning day, I don't think so. That's a good idea. So how much is my loss? Like $170 is loss. Mm, not a bad, not a bad thing. Let's trade lunch. It's cool, man. It's easier to trade the lunch hour rather than trading the morning session. Like all the profit you are seeing over here, all of them has been built in like lunch hour. Like in this account, okay, that is not the account here. Like $1,700 lunch hour, 670 lunch hour. This is the London session actually. $700 lunch hour. This was also the lunch hour. Like everything is lunch hour. This is from the morning session. So this result came from the morning session. Oh man. If this high is going to be shifted with the fair value gap, I'm gonna take the buy. You don't need to do that. I'm gonna take the buy. I took sell from 28,571. Good for you, brother Jonas. Boom for you as well. How is the 15-second chart? Too fast. In this high volatile market, if you would love to trade the 15-second chart, it's too fast. Don't do that. ICT can. Yeah, ICT can. ICT is ICT. I mean, there is no comparison with ICT, brother, to be honest. Like he can do everything. We are just the student. He's the mentor. So we can't compare with ICT. Offer extended. Apex special deal for 100K intraday accounts, $59, all in including activation fees. Use the code T2T. So if any of you are interested about Apex, 100K account is gonna cost you $59 maximum. I mean, so all in. There is no other hidden charge or something. Make sure you have used the code T2T to get that offer. This is going to be shifted with the bullish fair value gap. I'm gonna take that buy. I don't care it will work or not. I'll just take this buy. Okay, I got the market structure shift. All I need a gap over here. If I find the gap, I'm gonna take the buy. Now, if it doesn't take me, that is also bad luck. I mean, I was waiting for that. I took a loss, and then the setup appeared. I was not able to take the entry. Absolutely cool. Brother, it is going to take this high and then going to fall for this 50%. Can happen. I will take that loss, but I'm not going to let the market go over here from a PDRA. So to me, this is an opportunity to take a buy from here. Stop loss is gonna make me cry. Yeah, I'll try like this way, okay? 37 handle. Okay, I actually can take the entry from there. Not going to work, going to stop me out. I'm happy to do that. I mean, I'm happy to get stopped out. By the way, my entry actually took here. As it took here, I'm able to put my stop loss much more lower, okay? Because it took me from there. So I will put it here, just below this candle, because I got the entry from there. And I'm just going to hold the trade to the low of this new week opening gap. So to the low of this new week opening gap, I'll try to take a partial over there. 147 partial. Like if I close it right now, my all loss is gone. My loss is like, how much is my loss? So $170 is my loss. If I close it right now, it's $290. So my loss is gone. Wow, that was good. Cool, cool. Don't do what I'm doing, okay? Follow the rules you follow. Always if you have followed, just follow them. Like 1:1 partial, then everything. Just follow them like the way you should follow it. Just 60 handle. Come on, brother. I need 147 handle. Give me that. If I entered with 3 micro contract, I would have already taken some partial over here. As I have no other option, like just 2 micro contracts, so I'm gonna hold my trade until the most logical level as my partial. And then I'll move my stop loss to the break even. I will try to hold the trade until this 50% zone. That's I'm not taking partial or anything over here. If I do that, I'm already will be profitable. I'm not able to put my stop loss to the break even. The reason is market still didn't build the order block. Yeah, it still didn't build the order block. So I can't put my stop loss to the break even. Maybe I'll get stopped out over here. I have nothing to do over here. Either I have to take the partial randomly and put my stop loss to the break even, or I have to take this risk. I'm preferring to take the risk over here. Again, you don't need to do that. Okay. You don't need to do that. You do what it is, what we have already talked about every single time. Take 1:1 partial, put your stop loss to the break even, let the runner go. Be profitable, at least mitigate your loss. Now I have the order block. If it actually close, the next candle close above this, then I'll have the order block. Then I'll be able to move my stop loss to the break even. If like the next candle close above this candle, I'll have the order block. Otherwise, I'll get stopped out here below this candle. Good. For example, this candle will close above the order block. I'm gonna add more to the order block, and I'm gonna put my stop loss to the break even. Not exactly to the break even, a bit above the break even. If the candle close above the order block line. Actually, I'll put my stop loss a bit lower, just a bit lower, just because I have another gap around that area. Okay, I didn't see this gap before. I've seen it later actually. There is a small gap. So I have to respect this gap as well. I'm not able to put my stop loss below this low because that's gonna be too much. Here it's 38 handle is still in my limit. It is called time distortion. Market is waiting for 10:30 to move either way, to the bull way or bear way. Either way, market before moving, it is waiting for 10:30. Time distortion. This is the entry gap. This is a very small breakaway gap. And let's see. First time it will close above this. I'm gonna add more over there by trailing my stop loss. That would be awesome if there was a bearish gap. That would be awesome if there was a bearish gap because that's the trap. Okay, still didn't close. Yeah. By the way, if it doesn't provide me the opportunity to add more, I'm gonna let the go. Still, I'm not allowed to put my stop loss to the break even. Should I add more or should I let it go? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. My N2 will be here somewhere. I think here somewhere. Okay. Okay. It is here actually. Okay. No worries. Now I'm in full port. Uh, I'll just put my one microcontroller that I have added here. I'll put it to the break even. Uh, if I don't survive here, I'll just get stopped out here. Otherwise, like my stop loss will be a very small stop loss, like 12 handle for two microcontract, which is absolutely good. $453. I have a loss of $170. Okay, I have a loss of $170. So this is the 10:30 candle. The first candle open, fall a bit, which is called PO3, power of three. Fall, manipulation, up, expansion, and then close, like fall a bit and then close. So the first fall is acceptable. Then the run is acceptable. Finally, the market is going to close wherever it is going to close. All I'm expecting here a bullish gap that will be unfilled. This is not the unfilled bullish gap. The unfilled bullish gap is going to be created after the order block has been traded. It is called the breakaway gap. That means market is extremely bullish. It doesn't have the time to fill this gap or to trade this gap, but it doesn't have that type of power which is actually unfilled gap has. Okay, so for example, if I see a bullish gap over here, I'm just gonna hold my trade for the 50% area. Otherwise, I'll simply close the trade. $570, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh man. I need a bullish gap right now. Market is trading the 15-minute bearish gap. So after trading the 15-minute bearish gap, if it keep falling, maybe I'll get stopped out. So I'm deciding to put my stop loss to the break even because the market is trading the 15-minute bearish gap. There is a 15-minute bearish gap. Okay. So this is the gap market is trading right now. So if it really interested to fall one more time after trading this 50-minute bearish gap, I don't want to take that small risk as well. So I'm gonna put my stop loss to the break even. So far it's just 60 handle. Now it's 77 handle. Come on, man. Go to Papa. What is my target? My target is here. That is my target. I'm expecting this market will come for this line. That's why I'm not taking any partial over here. I can be wrong. Maybe this market will keep falling and it will stop me out to the break even. I'm extremely unlucky over here. My bias was wrong. Everything is wrong. Okay, good. But the setup has been created from a logical level. And I'm seeing the order block is still holding the market. And my stop loss is below the mean threshold of the order block. Like everything is perfect for me. All I need to see, can it break this 50-minute gap? So if it can break this gap and tap to the low, I'll get my partial at least, which is 147 handle, if you guys remember. That is going to mitigate my losses, and then the rest too, I'll let them go. Okay, trade that gap. It's not a good sign at all. I want to see the 50% of the order block. So this is the 50% of the order block, which is the main threshold. Maximum fall is allowed until this line over here. That is the maximum fall is allowed. I'm really not happy with this market because 10:30 has already been passed. It's 10:35 now, but still this market is not moving. So this is really so suspicious. It should move already. It should have already gone too far. I don't know why it's not moving yet. Like 10:35 is too much. Maximum 10:31, 10:32 allowed. But after 10:34, 35, it's really so risky. So I really don't know why it is not moving at all. Okay, 95 handle. I'm expecting a bullish gap that is going to be unfilled. If I see that, I'm going to be very confident about this trade to hold it for a long period of time. If there is a 1 minute bullish fair value gap, that's going to be unfilled. Because I'm not reading your comment. If you are writing anything over there, I'm not reading your comment right now. I'm just watching the market because I'm in a trade right now. So, yeah. Let's see if it can build a bullish gap over here. Good thing is, remember, 15-minute is connected with 1-minute chart. 15-minute chart is connected with 1-minute chart. So 15-minute CE, parabolic gap CE is broken from 1-minute chart. That's a sign I'm going to go higher. Maybe it will not, but that's already, it has provided a sign after closing above the CE of the 15-minute gap. All I need to see a gap to be created and to leave that gap open. That's all I wanna see over here. That means market will never come back to this gap. It will never come back for that gap. Yeah. Like this candle will open, start to go higher. Never ever look for this gap. If it happens, I'm really so much confident that this is going to work. Otherwise, if you trade that gap and close that gap 100%, I think I'll close my trade. I should wait at least 4 candle, but I'm not going to wait for 4 candle because it has already moved a lot of profit, like 90 handle. And then if it reverse and stop me out to the break even after even seeing this unfilled gap, I'll feel so much regret over here. So that's why I'm not waiting for 4 candle, at least 3 to 4 candle. I'm not waiting for that. Let's hope for the best. Okay, if I'm extremely unlucky and market fail to hit my target just for how many handle? Just for 14 handle. That's luck, man. That's luck. Come on, don't look at this gap. This gap is closed 100%. This trade is not going to work. If this gap is closed by 100%, this is not going to work. This trade is not going to work. Come on. One, two, three, four. By the next candle, if this gap is not closed 100%, I still believe it will go higher. By the next candle, if it is not closed by 100%, 3 to 4 candle, okay, it's sometimes 3 candle, sometimes 4 candle, very rarely 5 candle. And it seems to also look like a fake breakout. One candle has closed above the CE, next candle has came back again below the CE. So I need another beautiful body close above the CE as well to confirm that the CE is broken. So if this candle failed to close this unfilled gap 100%, I still believe it will go higher. So the exact run is already 136 candle and still I didn't take the partial. Can you believe it? What a greedy shit I am. Okay. Now the C is broken and I'm 100% confident this market will hit my at least the partial, like 100% confident, because the four candle failed to close this 100% that gap. So I think it will work. Except this is the very rare time where the fifth number candle actually closed the gap 100%. If it is not, but I still believe it is going to work. I think this is a very rare case where market actually close it with the five candle. One, two, three, four, five. Within five candle, it has closed this gap. So I think it's not going to work. Okay. So one stopped out. I'm going to get a stopped out very beautifully. Bad luck. Yeah, at least 36 handle is loss. That's good. Relatively equal loss that are also going to be taken. I just can't kill the trade while it is working. Otherwise, I should have already closed the trade. I let the stop out by itself. Another time trade the order block. Another time build the bullish fair value gap over here. This is the same kind of expectation like I was expecting from there. That is the same kind of expectation here. So it closed by five candle. Let's see if this one can work. Like, by the way, if it build that bullish gap. If there is no bullish gap, there is nothing. Yeah, there is a gap, a small gap. Why I moved my stop loss? Because it's trading this bearish gap right now. There is a high probability it will now keep falling. Okay, except this gap. If this gap is unfilled, it is still bullish. So all I need to care about this gap right now. So this is the area. Still, this gap is not closed. Now it's closed, and I got stopped out. I'm gonna close it. Yep, was a very good trade actually. The run was like nearly 137. I refused to take the partial. I wanted to take the partial here. But that was a very nice, beautiful run. And I believe that my loss has already been mitigated. It should be. Yeah, $170 is now profit. But yeah, it's okay. $170 was my loss. Now I'm in profit of $170. That was more than enough for being profitable from this 22 YT model, from this gap. Again, I was saying that like it doesn't work, I don't care. But there is a setup, I'm gonna take that buy. If it fall, I'm gonna get stopped out here and I'll look for buy again from there. So first time it was the lowest probable buy here because below the C, I shouldn't go for that buy. But as I told you, like there was three setup. Oh, now it hit my partial level. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. Now it hit my partial level. Stupid market. Is there anyone who was with me in this trade? Come on, 10:30, push higher. It didn't. Hey, Nargis Akhtar, how is this? Nice trade, made back my loss. Congratulations, Jamarkis. In profit, $50. That's good, man. That's good. This parabolic will turn into inverse gap and will go higher. Maybe, brother. I'm still in. My stop loss was below equal lows. Okay, so you are still in, but have to, you have to, you have to take the partial here. If you don't do that, you will regret, brother. I believe this market will go for this line over here. I don't care. You have to take the partial to the low of this new week opening gap. This is forbidden. If you don't have the opportunity to take the partial because you have just entered with one contract, you have to close your trade over there. If you don't do that, you'll regret. It's going to consolidation till 2 p.m. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it should not. What do I have around the 2 p.m.? However, was there anyone else with me in this trade? I mean, this order block is still holding the market. But again, I don't like this type of price action. I need something very well known to me. I know, like after the market structure sheet, fair value gap, it will come back again to trade this gap to build the order block. After building the order block, it will build the trade the order block, then make the unfilled gap either here or here. Any of these two was acceptable. But if it doesn't do that, I'm not confident to hold that trade anymore. I'm gonna trail my stop loss and got close. I mean, this is what I'm doing. Like this run should happen without closing this gap 100%. As it didn't do that, I just got stopped out. And I'm cool with that, brother. To be honest, it was more than enough for me to get the profit. But as I was with two micro contract and then I added one micro contract. I wanted to take the partial to the low of this new week opening gap. And then if I could take the partial here by trailing my stop loss, I would hold the next partial level to the 50%. And then third one until this last gap over here. But unfortunately, this was bit consolidation and my trailing stop loss took me. It's good, man. It's good. My partial already took, bro. Boom, boom, boom. You guys should write down boom, man. Come on. Okay. Hi Titu. What is your expectation for today and next week? Thanks. I'm bullish actually. Not I don't know how long, but I'm bullish until this dotted line. At least until this dotted line, I'm bullish. Then I'm bearish. After that, I'm bearish. My partial already took, bro. Okay, I'm still in one with a runner, brother, one micro. So Ziban, make sure that you have closed all the trade while the market will reach to this dashed line. Okay, that is the best area to close the trade. I mean, it's more than enough. Thank you, Marquis, for writing boom, brother. At least you write down the boom for me. Happy to see that. Again, guys, see same thing here, like market structure shift, fair value gap. Only thing was not I was happy. I was taking the trade below the CE. That was the only thing I didn't like over here. I told you that. But here, the same thing. Market structure shift, fair value gap, like everything, the same thing. Now, you will say, brother, you got stopped out. But before getting stopped out, if I close the market here, for example, I closed it here, I was profit or like, man, huge $400, $500 profit. I would be like that profit. If I wouldn't do that, Instead of that, put my stop loss to the break even, just at the break even. Still, I'm in profit, huge profit. Now, I don't like it, so don't judge me, please. But the logic is here. I can't wait for this line to be traded. Yeah, there is an opportunity from this gap, which is the 50-minute gap. I'm interested to take that buy from that gap because market provided me the setup. Maybe it is not going to work. Maybe market is going to fall. I'm going to get another loss over here. One loss, two loss. I'm going to get loss with two micro contract. I don't care, man. And eventually I'll just keep adding more, adding more. Like this way I do. Okay, in this type of scenario, actually what I do, if I were alone here, I entered here with three micro contract. I would add here. And then when the market came to the 50%, I would close two micro contract over there. Come back again here, I would add two micro contract by trailing my stop loss to the break even. And then I would hold the trade. And when it will touch this low, I'll take another contract off. Fall, trade this gap, I would add more over there. Take partial, add more. Take partial, add more. Take partial, add more. So my entry would start from here, later here, later here, later here, later here. You would still, finally you would see my entry is here actually. But actually that is one trade only. So taking partial, but that I don't want to do that in live because some people just join and they will say that I'm going to enter over them, then going to push the button. They don't see even if I'm entering here, my actual entry was there. So my stop loss will be here somewhere. I'll be able to put my stop loss to the break even. I would be able to do that. So they don't look that. That's why I don't do that in live. Most of the time I just close the live and then I do that thing. Okay. I start with two micro contract. I end up with 12, 13, 14, 15 micro contract by trailing my stop loss, taking the partial to trailing. For example, okay, I'm in this trade. Okay. I have taken like six micro contract already out of this market. For example, okay, and I have one micro contract left. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add five more over there because six micro contract for like for 100 handle is going to be $1,200 profit. I'm already in $1,200 profit, so I don't care if I add six more and my stop loss is like 510 handle below my entry level. So even if it doesn't work, I'm gonna get another $120 loss. What does it mean? Nothing to me. So this is how I love to work. I want to show you something, guys. This anybody can know that what is this? This is called the new week opening gap. So if you are watching the new week opening gap, you will wait for this new week opening gap to be broken from the hourly chart, not from 15-minute chart, hourly chart, because this is the new week opening gap. Look at this hourly candle, where the candle is right now, respecting this daily new week opening gap, not daily new week opening gap is respecting, right? The body is inside this new week opening gap. Still, this gap is not broken. Still, this is holding the market. What is your buy side? This is your buy side liquidity. 15-minute last gap, which is over here below the buy side liquidity. See this? The reaction came from there. A very beautiful, excuse me, reaction came from exactly this gap. Remember, this is the strongest gap ever after new day, new week opening gap. The last gap, which is below the liquidity. The last gap, which is above the liquidity. If you ever find this gap, always expect the reaction from that gap. Always. Like 99% of the time, you'll get the reaction from there. 99% of the time. Sometimes, if the reaction has already been done here, for example, it tap here and then fall, sometimes it went through and simply take that buy side liquidity. Otherwise, be very careful, okay? See, if I were in this trade, I have already added more over here to this gap. Boom. Thank you, Sharada. That is a long way. Is that dotted line for today? Yeah, I'm looking for that dotted line by today. I mean, I'm only bullish. Okay, even if it doesn't go for that dotted line, I don't care, but I'm only bullish. Thank you, Sharada and Marquis, for writing boom for me, man. I hope you guys are getting something, okay? But still, this is really tough market to trade. It's going to be much more easier for me to trade the lunch hour. I don't know why, but last few days I'm trading the lunch hour. I'm making a lot of money from there. Like this Lucid funded account, if I go to the details, like all of this profit has been built from the launch hour. All of them from the launch hour, except this one. This one actually today's uh, London session. Okay, let's hope for the best and to see if it really provides something good to me. That 15-minute bearish gap is still holding the market from the 15-minute chart. So market is still like, look at this. This gap is still holding the market. Here the CE is broken, high is broken, so market came to this new week opening gap. Happy to see that. Now I wanna see actually where did it trade of the new week opening gap. Okay, so here no, it's still bullish. It's still bullish. However, in this trade, I have already added more over here to this fair value gap. More added over there, targeting the CE of this new week opening gap. Not thinking about fall, okay? Not thinking about fall. It should be in the right way. I mean, right side of the market. Sometimes you'll be wrong, but most of the time it should be in the right way. This is not a bearish market. Yeah, that follows is scary, right? That follows really scary. But still, you know the where is the liquidity reside here? That is the liquidity market should target. Order block, new entry from there. I'm just not going. Actually, I'm going to take this trade. Let me see how much is going to be the stop loss. If it's not huge, I'm gonna take this. Okay, 36 handle is acceptable. Okay, let's see if it can take me. I don't know it will take me or not, but if it takes me, I'm gonna take this one. One of the best order block. Time. Look at the time. I'm at the exactly the perfect area to enter into this trade. Okay, I mean this time I'm not, of course, going to hold the trade so long. If I survive here, I'm gonna take the partial around 1:1. If I survive, okay. So I'm going to take the partial here because I'm in the new week opening gap. That's gonna be the first partial around 1:1. That's gonna be the second partial. If I survive, if I don't, bad luck. This order block is one of the best order block. All I have to survive here just 2 more minutes, okay? Just 2 more minutes. 11 a.m. If I can survive for the 11 a.m., I'm gonna get my partial for sure. I should have entered from the fair value gap actually. So I should have entered from this fair value gap, but I was talking to you guys, you know, like so I should enter over here, stop loss below this candle, that candle. In that type of scenario, I would get stopped out here, and then I would re-enter from this order block. All I have to do, I have to survive by this candle. If I can survive by this candle, I believe that I'll get my partial. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm going to take a loss. You know, if you are win, don't take another trade. Don't you do that. Just don't do that. You don't need to give back your profit again to the market. Okay. Yeah, like 1:1 partial. This low should be protected. It should not take this low as it is trading the new week opening gap. So the lower quadrant of the new week opening gap is holding the market. Still good. I still believe the C is gonna be traded of this new week opening gap. So I'm gonna interested to see this run to go toward my target. Market open, fall, go higher, close like this way. This is how the top of the hour works. Like open, fall, up, went up, and then close like this way. Keep watching. I'm gonna add more. If it close above this order block one more time, I'm gonna add more over there without stopping me out. I didn't put my stop loss below this order block, so I'm taking a bit risk over here, but I think I'm safe because the min threshold has been covered by my stop loss. If it close above this order block, I'm gonna add more over there. The low of the new week opening gap is holding the market. This is really so bad uh, because I'm expecting the market to go to the 50%, but the low is holding the market. I don't like these things when I'm inside a new week opening gap. I need to see the low to be broken by the next candle. Mean threshold of this order block is holding the market. Not even a single body has closed below this. That's a good sign. Close above this order block, I'm gonna add more over there. This bearish gap is also holding the market, but I'm not afraid of this bearish gap. I actually love to see this type of bearish gap while I'm using the order block, but I'm afraid of the low of this new week opening gap. So if this low is broken, body is going to close just one tick above this new week opening gap low. This is going to work, I believe so. Now you'll say, brother, why you are taking the entry? Man, here I let 500 go. So I'm not afraid to take another, how many handle? How many dollar? Maybe another $170. So I'll be at the break even. I don't care about that. I really don't like the body close below the CE, mean threshold of the water block. I don't really like it. So if the body close below the line of this mean threshold, I don't know what I am going to do. See this 50-minute gap, it closed above this gap. Now come back again, trade the CE of this gap. My stop loss is below the CE of this gap. I just need to see a body close above that order block. It is not only above the order block, it is also above the low of the new week opening gap. And if it just keep going higher, I'm gonna miss adding more over here. Like if it keep going higher. If it doesn't take me, it's perfectly okay. But I believe that it will come back again one more time to trade the low of the new week opening gap. I think so. If this high is taken, I'm not gonna add more. I'm gonna hold the trade. That's all. Because this high is the most obvious high. Even if this market is really interested to fall, after taking this high, it can fall. There is nothing wrong. Okay. I added more. My stop loss is below the mean threshold because I don't believe this market will come back again to trade this mean threshold. It should keep going higher now. But if it come, I'm gonna get stopped out here with 24 handle into 10, $240 loss. তবু এই দেয়ালের শরীরে যত রং ধুয়ে যাও মানুষ নিশানার পথ হিংসা তো চেতনা যত উদ্ভাসিত আলোড়ন আকাশে মতন কোষ নীল নীলে ডুবে থাকা তোমার প্রিয় কোন মুখ তার চোখের কাছাকাছি। I don't like to close below this order block. It should not close below the order block. It's not good at all. So I'm gonna move my stop loss much more lower. It's a sign that it interested to trade this mean threshold one more time. I'm going to cover the CE of this candle. That candle CE. Good if it works, bad if it doesn't work. I didn't like at all below the closing below the order block. Why this market is working like that way today? It's in consolidation. Come on, man. You have to take this high. You have to trade the CE of the new week opening gap. What you are doing? Okay. A beautiful loss. I was expecting to go higher, but didn't go higher. So falling. Does it want to fall? Because if it wants to fall, I won't be able to enter. Yeah, the 50 minute is respecting the low of this gap, but it should go higher. I'm just curious to know, does it really interested to target this sell side liquidity? Short term scalping is good. Like from the sell here, market structure shift, fair value gap for this sell side liquidity because this order block has been broken. I'm thinking about that. Small scalping, even though this is risky and there is no gap. But I'm thinking about a small scalping over here. I just don't know should I go for it or not. However, I have a small loss, I guess. Yeah, $150. I'm thinking about a small scalping for this sell side liquidity. I'm just not sure about that. What do you think, guys? Is it going to fall for that sell side? It seems like it's going to go for that small sell side liquidity. Brother, if you are awake around the last hour of trading, please post any possible setup. I'm going to try to be in front of the chart. Okay, I'll remember that, brother. As the water block is broken, there was an high probability to go for this sell side liquidity. But I was just Mhm. There was a like immediate switching the bias for the minor sell side liquidity, but there was not even a single fair value gap as well. Like if there was a gap, I could think about that small scalping from here to until this sell side liquidity. But as I don't see any gap over here, I think that was good. Let this go. Come on, don't let this sell side go and then go higher. Please don't do that. It should come for this sell side liquidity. Say hi. Hello. 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 Okay, guys, I think it's all for today. Okay, we had a very nice, beautiful setup over here. That was really awesome from here to here, nearly 150 handle. I tried this water block that was really awesome, but as it didn't work, it should not leave this sell side liquidity open. I don't know why it is leaving that open. I think it will fall from here. I'm still thinking about a sell for a short period of time for this sell side liquidity. Okay, but in other words, if this candle is really interested to be a water block instead of that candle, I'll be doomed. Okay, so something like that, like 50-50. Does it want to go higher? I need to see this market to come at least over here and eventually for the buy side liquidity. But for now, maybe this is going to be the water block and sending the market here. And maybe I'm gonna miss the trade. It's okay. Selling for this sell side liquidity could be awesome, but there was no gap to me, so I didn't think about the sell. So I should enter over here for the buy. I'm also not going to let take it. I think around the lunch hour, I'll find some good setup and I'm gonna take that setup around the lunch hour. Otherwise, there is disgusting price action overall. All of you will say this is a beautiful price action because that fall, it is called falling knife. Have no way to enter into this falling knife. And after that, this disgusting price action, this is all happening in almost everyday morning session. So to be honest, I have no idea how to trade this type of market. Oh man, I'm thinking about a buy. But this sell side liquidity is too beautiful. Ah, why market? Why you are doing this to me? Even there is no SMT. Yeah, this sell side liquidity is too beautiful. Also, I'm thinking about a buy. Ish, if it could take this sell side liquidity, I could enter into this buy over here. So this order block didn't work. I would look for this order block to take the buy. But as this sell side is left open, I was not brave enough to think about a buy over here because this is left open. Even though it is trading this gap over here, but it doesn't mean anything to me at all. So yeah, this is what it is. Tough market. Be agree with me or not, I don't care, but this is really a difficult market. Like for example, if it has taken this sell side equity, I'm already in a buy with this order block for targeting this line, at least this line. Left this sell side liquidity, I'm confused. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Should I take the buy? Should I take the sell? What should I do over here? Because this is so beautiful sell side liquidity. Tough market, man. Tough market. NDPG 28300 stopping dog. NDPZ. What is that? Okay, NDOZ. I think you are saying that new day opening gap. However, even though there is a new day opening gap, I don't care. But this sell side liquidity is really so awesome. Okay, so if it could take this one, I could think about a buy. As it didn't take it, I'm not interested to take the buy. I'll let this go. both this consolidation. I mean, if I keep trading here, maybe I'll end up with blowing that account. So it's good to let this go. I think so. Have a good rest of the evening and weekend, brother. God bless you. And I'll see you on Monday, God willing. Thank you, Suzivan. Uh, yes, brother, I'm done for a day. Have a good night. Same to you. I mean, have a good night to you, brother. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I mean, not tomorrow, on Monday, actually. Overall, this week was not bad for me. I like this 153. I believe that I'll be mitigated that loss by the lunch hour. But still, this is Friday, mental capital preservation day. Like after building $1,389, it's $150. Doesn't seems nothing. Okay, it seems nothing to me. Even though I was in green, if you guys remember. And the funded account, it's kind of like this whole week was really so good to me. Not around the AM session, out of the AM session, most of the time lunch hour. So that was really awesome. Okay, except that specific day, even if this day I was in green, $280, if you guys remember. So I was in green. Later, I actually not $280 actually, $323. So I was up $323, and then I end up with $100 loss. That's good, man. But I think that's good. That's a good week, at least overall. Not only the morning session. Overall, that was a good week. And please don't be T2SMC gambler. I'm not going to be. Okay, maybe I'll trade the. I'll just log the account. Okay, yeah, I'll log the account. Today's Friday. Actually, I blow most of my account on Friday. Most of my account on Friday. I blew like three funded account one after another on Friday. So I think I should not do that. 153 is good loss. I'll be able to mitigate that easily one Monday because I'm so much confident. So I'm gonna lock my accounts. End of the trading day, lock the account, lock me. So yeah, both of them is locked. So I'm not going to gamble at all. TTSMC gambler is not valid at all. Bro, be online till 12. I'm so much hungry. I didn't eat anything the whole day. There's some just feeling to close the stream. This outside liquidity, watch it, man. As long as it's not taken, I can't take the buy. After clearing this outside liquidity, this C is really so awesome to me. I highly appreciate for this market to go for this C, and eventually it will go over here. But the only problem is if it leave this outside liquidity, I'm not able to take that buy. So if it take this outside liquidity, boom, I'm gonna target this line over here. In other words, if it come here at first, I'll target this outside liquidity, which is risky actually, to be honest. So it's always preferable to take this sell side liquidity, then go for this line. More importantly, go to your hourly chart. Hourly, just a second. Hourly week quadrant level CE is a good area for reversal for this hourly bearish cap. Okay, so that is something like that. Sharada, I'm really so hungry, brother. So I have to go. We'll see you Monday, brother. And if I see something good around the PM session, I'll share that in my Discord because today I'm not going to take any trades, so I'll simply share the setup to you guys. Hmm. This is tough market, to be honest. Believe it or not, it's a really tough market. Okay, see you guys. Until then, cheers.